Thank you all for tuning in.
Shit.
Last night, he let the liquor talk.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Truth, Tall Tales, and Whiskey. Tonight we got Luke LsaPrade in the house, and he brought a couple of his band members with him. So we have a line out that I don't even know if we can talk about everything on it already, and we haven't even, they haven't even told the stories. So
The bass player will talk about it.
Deal. Yeah. Mute his mic later. But all right, Luke.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start off by saying, who the fuck is Luke LsaPrade? Prad. I did that on purpose.
Turn on your mom's radio and ask.
Damn. He's starting early.
We're going in strong.
Do we want to talk about moms early?
We went straight.
No.
For the people that don't know, who are you, where are you from, when you start playing music, all that shit.
My name's Luke LsaPrade. I'm from Grand Saline, Texas. I graduated from Grand Saline High School, but I also went to Fruitville, Texas until like the 8th grade. So
it all makes sense.
East Tech, yeah, I bet it makes a lot of sense. I think I even went to Wills Point for like half a semester, if that makes any sense. But
nice.
Yeah, I'm from East Texas, man, 903. I got my band. Well, I got 3/5 of my band here. I got Will Burgin and Clayson Allen Greene over there. Lost my train of thought. But I think, I don't know what to call us. We get into this argument all the time. Like me and Will, like I'll say Southern Rock, and Will says, no, that's more like CCR. I'm like, well, that's because you're old, man. But
that is true.
If I had to define us, I would
old.
say Texas country and kind of 90s alternate rock. So maybe Whiskey Myers and Blink-182 had a love child. I think that would be as close as we could get.
You just described Tony.
To sweet. Yeah, he's over here going, yes.
Yes.
So,
Fun and stupid.
yeah, I'm Luke LsaPrade. I'm from East Texas, and this is my band. So
Hell yeah.
cool.
So we'll just get straight into it because I like the awkward shit. It's kind of my question line.
Sweet. All right.
He's really fucking good at it.
The first time that I heard about it, I got a like message from somebody, and they were like, "Hey man, you really got to have him on the podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll get him on," you know. And then I'd never heard you, and I was pretty lit. And you messaged me late at night, and you were like, "Man, I want to be on there." I was like, "Yeah, we'll do it." Then I was like, "Man, maybe I should listen to the music." And I dived in. And the very first lyric, I can be your Shrek. You can be my Fiona.
Well, it's actually not the first lyric.
Listen.
It's the first chorus.
It was the first thing I heard.
First chorus. I mean,
It was the first thing I heard.
Fast forwarded it.
But what I'm saying is I quit you for a year.
Oh,
before you even knew me.
A
Slept on it.
whole
Yeah.
year. And then Catherine Odom from Gotta Love Texas kept telling
Oh,
me,
God bless her. I love her.
We gotta stop
Her and
shouting out
Tim?
every episode.
Oh, yeah.
Her and Tim, man. Hey.
So
I love
I've had
great
them at my
people.
house twice.
Two of my favorite people, honestly.
she kept telling me, "No, you got to dive further than that. Like, she's good." And then one night I seen you out and like told you the story about it.
Yeah.
And I did. I dived in a little further to realize it's like, man, I like this. And then now I'm hearing the new stuff coming out, and it's like,
Game
you
changer.
just laid down one of my favorite performances that I've seen in the Whiskey Locker.
Oh, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah,
And
it
we've
means
had
a
some
lot.
very special moments here. Some stuff like some of my favorite moments have happened in here with little people, a whole bunch of midgets.
Hold on.
Wrestling?
Listen.
Do you have wrestling in this room?
Yes. Because I'm out, dog. Like,
Can we say that?
Epstein, are you there? I'm out, dude. I'm out.
Oh, no.
Talking about little people wrestling.
I'm out, man.
We got big hearts.
I'm scared.
So,
No. Well, the song you're talking about is "You're Johnny," right? What are you laughing at?
Go ahead, tell them you're Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
guessing Johnny's a midget.
So no.
Okay, spoiler alert.
Yeah. You're Johnny. Yeah. So that's the second song I ever wrote. 12 years ago. How old am I? I don't know.
And do we want to do a lyric breakdown here?
No.
Are you-
I mean,
are
I
you
can.
past
Yeah.
that?
Well,
No, I'm just.
so I've learned kind of not to hate on it so much myself because there are people that really like that song.
Love
and like,
that song.
if I start off with, "Oh, I hate that song," the people that listen, they're like, "Oh, I don't like it," you know. But personally, I don't like it. It's the second song I ever wrote. I was 17 years old, and the first song I ever wrote was like a breakup song called "Dial Tone," which maybe I'll show it to you sometime. For those that do know, which is a very small group, that song's wild. But anyways, girls didn't really like it.
So
For obvious reasons. So I wrote "You're Johnny" because I was thinking, like, how can I write something girls would like? So I wrote "You're Johnny," and like it was great for like a 17-year-old me that didn't know anything about music. I thought it was cool, but I never expected to record it.
So I joke with you about it because that was literally my introduction, and I'm just an honest person. But at the same time, like, people love that song.
They do.
People love that song.
Luke,
Maybe not me.
I could tell you why, but if I did,
To be honest, he was peer pressured. He was peer pressured.
I was
by a drunk old man.
Before you get into that, Luke, I mean,
Yeah.
we can talk about it. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Somebody said that they were going to take the lyric, "I'll be your Shrek if you be my Fiona," and put it in the form of like a wedding proposal.
No shot.
Yeah.
Nice,
shot.
Luke.
Not kidding. And I think I've sang that
So
song.
you don't know shit.
Yeah.
We're trying to get
Yeah.
a Pixar sponsorship.
I think I've sang that song at 6 weddings. I think it's my most successful wedding song. We've sang "Lay You Down" on a lot of weddings, and I've sang an old song of mine called "Lay It All on Me" on weddings. I've got people, they've sent me pictures. They've got picture frames of like a big heart. And it's the lyrics of that song. I've got this Dawn and Phillip. She's got a bracelet, and it says, "I'll be your Shrek, you'll be my Fiona." That song has been it's been a Halloween costume. They showed up as a line with Corona to my Halloween show.
You wrote the $1 million
For my
lyric.
song. Yeah, and and it's a quirky song. We weren't even going to record it, man. I think we had done 3 shows that week, and we've been in the studio for 16 hours.
16 hours
in
at
2
least.
days. It was incredible.
And they came out with Shrek and
2 in
Fiona.
the morning, and like we're done. And like from the I'm in the studio room, and so there's like a window. Like I'm back in the vocal booth, so you can't. I couldn't really see the floor, but all I see is this Jim Beam bottle flap in the air, kind of like a sock puppet. And it's like, wait, it's like, "Luke, do the song," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Do the song." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Sing your Johnny," and I was like, "No, man, I'm not." Sing the song. It's funny because I'm talking to this Jim Beam bottle. I'm like, I'm not singing it, man. We've been at this 20-something hours worth of vocals from the gigs to the studio, and 16 hours of vocal, like 16 hours of time in the studio. I don't know. And it's like 2 in the morning, and he's like, "Just do it." I'm like, "No." And even the producer, even Christian Dybert there at the Good Shed, he was like, "Man, no, we're ready to go." Dad's like, 4 minutes.
By the way, the voice was his dad.
Yeah, the voice is my dad, by the way. And so,
He had drank all the Jim Beam. We all had like maybe
hey, don't call him out. Don't call him out. Okay. But he's like, "Play the song." It's funny because the bottle's moving, so it's like for everywhere. He's like, 4 minutes in and out. So I'm like, all right.
Jim Beam, we can't do it.
I'm like, all right, 4 minutes. So, anyways, 4.5 hours later, we had a song that went to around 50 on the Texas country music charts on our first release to the radio ever. So,
Hell yeah.
it did its job. I personally don't like the song. I didn't even want to record it, but you know what? It's done its job. So I'm
We
proud
are
of it.
10 minutes in, and we've already talked about midgets and puppets. I don't know where this is going, guys.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. So,
Welcome to the Luke LsaPrade
apparently,
Band.
I see it on the line out.
I've been to a few of your shows. I seen you at the venue. I seen you at Union 28. Man, y'all put on a performance first and foremost. Like, y'all kill it. That's a cool venue, man. Union 28 is a very cool
It's
venue.
one of our favorites.
Always happy to be there.
At your shows, I did notice that like people would come to the front of your stage, and to put it lightly, you would give them the bird.
Grab the bird.
So could you explain
there's the
why
bird
you
right behind you,
give
Luke.
your fans the bird?
Yeah.
And if you will, for me,
Yeah, I got you.
because me and Corey have this little rivalry, could you just give him the bird for me?
Yeah, I got you. Corey, you bring your what am I allowed to say on this podcast?
Just say
All of it.
You bring your sweet ass over here. Come here.
Oh, I gotta come up.
Hey, there's one right behind you too.
So we have what used to be a mascot.
Still is.
Become an event.
To you, this looks like a flamingo.
But to us, it
But
looks like
yeah, I got
freedom.
one right there. I'm good. To us, it's a flabongo.
Flabongo.
Little backstory. This is our band mascot. You want to shoot it, and I'll tell a story, or you want me to tell a story and then shoot it?
Tell the
Were
story
you
while he's
locked
shooting
up
it.
when
Yeah. Well, hang on. I got to teach you. Okay, so this right here, this hole, it's called the bad decision receptor.
Hey, he's
This
got
is
to
called
get
the
on
bad
the way.
decision.
He's found the hole.
You pour your bad decision to that there receptacle. Someone that has a half mullet like you probably knows what a carb is. I'm just gonna
I thought that was the love
go out
button.
on a limb. He's already got his finger on it. Yeah. If I don't know why it helps,
The
but
booty
once you
hole.
take your first pull, if you let go of that, you won't drown. I don't know why.
It's a dirty
But,
bird.
Cheers, man. Here's the bird.
Welcome to the band.
He just got the bird. Flabongo.
Did you survive? I'm going to tell you all about it.
From the Luke LsaPrade Band merch
Still, it's
table.
all over your face, man.
All of
Sometimes
your
it's
Did you do it in
faces.
frame, or we got to do it twice?
I think
Oh, you left some in there?
we have to do it again.
He went back for seconds.
Amateur. Yeah, you're getting it next. Don't you worry. Anyways, I brought y'all that flabongo for
yeah.
Truth
Can
Tall
you
Tales.
threaten
Rescues.
people
Keep.
like that?
We appreciate
That you don't
man.
know?
Yeah.
You're going to get it next, boy.
So, anyways, the story behind the flabongo is shout out to one of my really good friends, actually. Someone that really inspired me to write songs. His name is Bradley Vaughn. Hope he listens to it. Really nice guy. We was probably 17 years old, partying at some poor bastard's house who was at the rig. And me and Bradley, we go outside to use the bathroom. And across the yard, the old lady had a yard flamingo. You stumble over there, and we're all, oh, well, hey, it's hollow. And we made beer bongs out of everything, So, chop it up into this, what we call a flabongo, I guess. And fast forward 11 years, me and Will in the band, we go to a private show on a lake somewhere.
I think this was a 9-year-old birthday party to be
No, I
Man.
don't know.
He
parents want-
definitely played Sunflower.
The parents wanted to have some fun for the
Pause.
party.
That is a separate story that we have to revisit.
People with the lake house, right? So they're well.
Write that
I
down.
love them.
Hey, are you glad you brought them or not? Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's why I brought them.
Because he doesn't want to be.
Hey, story time. Daddy's talking.
Go
Anyways.
ahead.
Yes, Dad.
Go
I
ahead.
love them.
Go ahead.
So, anyways, I walk in, and the first thing I see on the bar is this one right here. And I was like, yo. I was like, is that a flabongo? He's like, what? I was like, is that flamingo a beer bong? And he's like, oh, yeah, I got it on Amazon. I'm like, what are the odds that after all these years somebody else did that shit? And so I'm like, listen, I got this whole funny story, and I told him everything. And I was like, that's coming home with me. And he's like, oh, no, it's not. I was like, well, yeah, like it's coming home with me. And he's like, I can't let you take it home. I was like, you don't understand. It's coming home with me.
We're robbing
And it came home with me. And so so it's kind of our mascot. We were slamming them on stage, and everyone's like, oh, whoa, what is that? And we would let people drink out of it. And people liked it so much, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try to find 10 of them. By God, I found them. Those are expensive, by the way. If I sell these, I don't make any money. I can't even sell them for enough to make money.
But we do it for the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do it for the party.
I bought a box of 10 and they sold out in one show. So I bought 10 more in one show. And literally a box of 10 will last 1 to 2 shows. Now I buy like 15 or 20 at a time. And now I got T-shirts with flamingos and it says "Get Flocked." Has Luke LsaPrade Band on it. But that's kind of the backstory. Mine is Hugh Peckner.
Oh my God.
I was going to name it Bill Cosby, but I didn't think anyone would drink out of it. So.
Oh, you had some left in there too. You just showed that.
I think you
Well,
did a good job.
sometimes that foam will it'll condense. Then.
People
Continue sorry.
But,
People would probably sleep on that Bill Cosby reference.
yeah, literally.
That was really
But
good.
we used to let everybody drink on this one on stage, and then we decided we didn't want to catch whatever the hell people have, so we always put out a stage bird. And I almost brought the stage bird in, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna give them their own bird.
But then we should
And I number them all, so I'm gonna number that one. And I number the ones I sell, and then I number the stage birds as stage birds with a whole new number. So one day, if I'm worth the shit, and anyone comes up with these flabongos that are like the first 100, maybe it'll be something cool. But you can see how discolored mine is versus yours. It's been through
used.
a lot of hell in like a year and a half,
And some sunlight.
2
gigs.
years.
Well-
Yeah, that's a flabongo story.
We'll shortly be moving into garden gnomes.
Hold on, I don't like the way you said that.
I
Like
said
garden or gnomes?
I said what I said.
The way he said we're gonna slowly be moving into garden now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already talking about little people.
Hey, how did we make it
I've
back to
called-
little people?
I've
That's
called Josh.
exactly where he was leading.
We went straight back to midgets.
Brought to you by Chloroseptic.
God, this is a great time to have
Brought to you by
Midgets
Laura
with pointy hats at that.
All right, so
what's
speaking of what y'all do at shows, thank y'all for the flabongo, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be very well used.
That'll be
on this show.
$30.
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Already.
I'm not even gonna say anything else.
Clayson,
Ahoy!
you
Talk about it.
Clayson.
Oh,
go.
ahoy. Okay.
Clayson.
I
go.
like the way you tell the story.
Come on, boss man.
I'll chime in. I'll chime in.
Yeah,
I'll
go
back
ahead.
you up.
Go ahead. Are we gonna tell like the whole story behind Ahoy, or just like?
Tell it all.
If Will
Because
tells
I
it,
kind of
he'll
like the
reference
mystery
somebody's
behind
I
mom.
like the mystery. I'll follow your lead.
I do like the mystery behind it.
I'll follow your lead. Start
Just
us
tell
off.
people to come to
Because
your
like people that
shows.
come to the show, well, people that listen to this will know.
Okay,
right?
so
That's
let's
the way it should be.
So be,
So we should.
be
Let's only-
mysterious
let's only
about
give
it.
him-
Hey, are
let's
you
only-
saying
I'll
Corey
give-
just snitched the code word out?
I'll give you the whole thing.
Let's
Well,
just get
Dylan,
into
it's cool to be at shows and like there's a very tiny amount of people. I've only told the whole real story once at one show because I might have been a little inebriated.
A little.
And they're like, "You're gonna tell the story." I'm like, "I'm gonna tell the
I'm
story."
gonna fucking tell it. Are you ready?
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm backstage like, I
But
can't
this
believe
could
that
work
story.
out in your favor.
But it could work out if we go all in. So the people that actually watch this podcast will know,
And they're going to show up to the show just because.
and
for
it'll
that
still be
reason.
a small amount.
Just go with it, Pops.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So
That was called Go Home.
Ahoy, go
It's
up.
just Shrek and Fiona watching.
You don't know the things he said to me today, okay?
It's just Shrek and Fiona watching. No worries.
Yeah. So Clayson's favorite word is ahoy.
It wasn't.
It's ahoy.
It is now.
It's ahoy. And if you come to our shows, you'll notice at random intervals somebody will yell ahoy, and then someone else will yell ahoy, and anybody that knows will yell ahoy.
And their heads will perk up.
If you don't know, you don't know, but you're gonna know now.
Your head will
We,
get on a swivel. When
we
you hear
did this
Ahoy and
show
Luke LsaPrade
for
show.
a
Bass Bonanza.
bass bonanza, big
Bass
Big
Bonanza.
bad bass
Yeah,
bonanza.
yeah, we did the bass bonanza, and like you're thinking like the typical like if you was watching TV like the bass championship guy, right? The mullet and everything, his wife,
Except diet.
right? Yeah, except like a diet Coke. Yeah, the stereotypical bass bonanza fisherman's champion's wife. I'm talking like the tank top, the short shorts, tall and skinny,
The
like
GED.
all here, nothing here. Yeah,
And bikini.
comes
Hey.
walking by, dude.
She was from the nice part of the country. Like she had a storm door.
Yeah, no.
You have no idea.
She doesn't talk to her dad anymore.
She comes walking by, and I guess her assets were,
Moving.
you could tell, you know. And so Clayson over here comes up on the mic all bold as can get, and he just goes, "You want to do it?"
I don't think I could
you want me
personally
to do it?
Hit it, hit it.
I couldn't.
So Clayson's like, "Tits ahoy!" And there's like 300 people all know what happened. And they're all laughing. The
Everybody
radio
looks
guys, Bobby Bones and AJ Reb, they're all laughing. And this girl's just
boom, boom.
and my dad's like, that's like that Transformers movie when Megan Fox is running through the desert. Just like, boom, boom, you know? And
So
so
was at the big ass bonanza.
the big
Bass
bass bonanza.
Bonanza.
So like the word ahoy was like scream into existence. And ever since then, like if we're at a show or really at Walmart or anywhere,
At the gym.
if
It's real
anyone
fun.
happens to walk by
methadone clinic.
that he finds attractive or just so happens to have watermelons, he yells ahoy. When he yells ahoy, everybody yells ahoy.
And everybody, it looks like if you're watching like what was it, Animal Planet on a like documentary over like what are they called, meerkats, and they're just
Ahoy!
Yo.
everybody knows.
And so like we get to practice one day and Clayson has this sick ass riff, but it's like real groovy, some shit I've never wrote. And he's like, I want you to write a song about blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. I'm going to write you a song called Ahoy.
You mean it, Dad?
And this man, yeah, he lights up like a kid in a candy store. Like, what? I have a PlayStation 5 for
Like a
Christmas.
meerkat.
Oh, he's so happy, man. Woo, yeah, like a meerkat. And I just so happened to be listening to a whole lot of Paul Cawthon for like the last week and a half. That's all I could think about. So he's got this this funky riff. So me, I'm like, man. And so y'all heard the song. I don't know if we're going to post it because it sounded like shit.
It was garbage.
Kind of weird.
Maybe
Because
we'll have
But,
it
so you heard it,
released.
right? So imagine it like this, right? Walking, talking, that bitch, cocaine blowing, she's a bad bitch, right? Boom, Paul Cawthon. I sell that some bitch to him so fast.
Can
So like the whole song to me, I'm singing it like that.
Right.
And I wrote the song driving home from band practice. I didn't even sing. I wrote it in my head. So when I got home, I'm like, how am I supposed to sing this? Because I can't sing it like that, you know? So the first time we sang it, I think it was at a show or at practice or something. I just had to wing it. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to sing it, but
you just started crying.
it came out good. Yeah. Sorry for my profanity.
And can we say that when you
Who's the fuck about profanity?
do the impression again, do the Paul Cawthon. I don't know who anybody talks about are. Do the impression.
Clayson, you're a bald bitch.
That was the way that the practice track was recorded.
I have it. I can share you guys the practice
the whole
track.
practice
It's for real.
We had to listen to it that way for
I was like,
6
listen to
fucking
this.
months.
While we practice it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
That's
who
a
Paul
stretch.
Cawthon is, but I could find him.
Paul Cawthon is the bee's knees.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great. I know.
Cocaine!
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Country dancing with you. Oh, listen.
I could find him in
Send
a
this to
crowd.
Paul Cawthon. I would.
Kinda hit
if
that.
I could
You
get him to
kinda
come to the
hit that.
studio, if I could get him to come and do that. Whoa.
And then come on this podcast.
No, if I could get him to come
Sir,
and do
we
that
are
song.
a family friendly.
No, if I
trying to
could,
get Paul Cawthon.
if I could get him to record that song, or even just a verse,
He's never
or if
gonna
he'd write his
listen to
own verse, I would die.
Said if you get him to come 3 times.
You can make a wish.
Hey, that's a lot to do to open for a guy.
I don't even want to open for him. I just want him to do that song.
I just want him to come.
He's gonna have all our fans
My
guessing
grandma's
what he,
gonna watch this, bro. This is awful.
all his fans are guessing what he did to get on here.
It was
Listen,
shady.
dude, the economy, man. Sometimes you just have to.
The reason we stand behind this bar.
We sell lawn decorations that you drink out of. The economy is shit.
We sell flamingos, man. What?
Nobody listens to our fucking music.
Hey, that's flocking awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking sick.
Walking
This
off.
man over here, we was talking about the other day.
This is depressing.
He's basically got a doctorate in classical music, and he works for a guy that sells fucking pink flamingos on stage, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of an existential crisis.
How do you feel about your life choices right now?
Oh,
I feel like I've been cheated.
I'm done.
I'm in debt for nothing.
That sounds like my last relationship.
Yeah. Except,
Which actually.
shout out to Dr. Kaiser, the shred master. Taught me everything I knew. No.
Hey, breaking news here. I have the Luke LsaPrade audio track we were talking about.
Listen
Oh,
to this
please
shit.
don't.
Skip it. Keep going.
That's the wrong one.
No, this is it. It's in my dreams.
No, because I did the Paul Cawthon on that
Yeah,
one.
no, yeah, it's the
That's
next.
close enough.
It's
Yeah,
the
you
next,
damn
It's
right.
the next verse.
No.
So, going back to Ahoy, funny story.
yeah.
So I was at the venue. He told me about, like, y'all yelled Ahoy, and I was like, "The fuck are y'all pirates?" all of a
what is
sudden?
that?
Like,
Hell
what
yeah.
the hell is going on?
We're going to take over your ship.
Booty.
Yeah.
We check.
I was like, we're all looking for
I'm a
booty.
captain of
but
the high
what's
seas.
going on
Yeah,
there?
pirates. That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's them. Not me. My heart's taken.
My heart.
I remember your last cool show. It was my first show.
While he's opening this beer, I want to shout out to Mason's Roofing. Thank you, Landon Mason, for sponsoring this bottle of whiskey for this episode of True Tall Tales and Whiskey.
Thank you, Mason.
Sweet.
Landon Mason at Mason's Roofing.
Last week, my 4-year-old son ran across the house with his arms in the air, screaming at the top of his lungs while butt-ass naked. Ahoy! And man, I have never been more fucking proud. I cried.
Yeah.
I said, that is my
moment.
fucking son. Right there. I love you, son.
Oh my god.
All right, back on track. Luke,
Yes, sir.
you got some new music coming out, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What you got?
So we got 6 songs recorded out of Rosewood Studios, and 1 song recorded out of MB Studios in Kilgore. Out of Rosewood, we got Lohan, which is we sang earlier, is probably one of my favorite songs I've ever wrote. It's easily top 3. I just kind of wrote it about a girl just trying to ease her pain, I guess. And everyone's always like, well, what's Lohan? What does that mean? Who is that? Da, 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 da. Well, I remember when I was writing it, I had just watched this podcast or YouTube video of Steve-O talking about back in the day when he was hanging out with Lindsay Lohan, and she would like snort all of his coke and stuff, and he called her blowhand and everything. And yeah. So I wrote that song, and like literally like right where I do it, right at the end of the song, you know, I was kind of hitting my last note, and in my head I just went, Lohan. I was like, oh, cool. Like I could just name it Lohan, you know.
Hell yeah.
I didn't
Now
want to tell
we're
anyone
here.
because, you know, maybe she hears it and sues the shit out of me. I have no idea. I don't know. Because it's not necessarily about her. It just, literally after I wrote it, I thought Lohan because I thought about Steve-O talking about, you know,
Right,
what
right.
he called Blowhand at the time. And I was like, yeah, I'll just name it Lohan. I think it perfectly embodies the idea of the character that I'm describing in the song.
All right. Well, if it blows up and she sees it and gets pissed off, this podcast might be your saving grace.
Maybe, man. I don't know nothing about you. I'd never make fun of you or nothing. It's just
We were going to call it Blowhand,
I think
but the
it's,
control group said no.
I think it's a beautiful song about, women that are struggling or something.
Yeah, just going through it.
Yeah, something for them.
These the same kind of women you had in the yellow 79?
Talk about Yellow 79.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
But talk about that truck.
Hey, I was a saint. I was a good kid.
So one of the new songs is Yellow 79?
Yeah, we'll talk about that one. When you played that
About
earlier,
that.
when you played that earlier, that song like hit home, and I know it probably will with a lot of people.
I keep getting really good feedback from that song. And honestly, when I wrote it, I didn't know that people would like it as much as they do. And honest to God, if I had to say the one song that people come at me the most, I'd probably almost say Yellow 79.
Yeah.
It was a sleeper for
People
us.
come at me with it all the time that I've heard it. They'll be like, man, that song, and they'll talk about it. The reason I wrote it, I used to have this yellow 79 Ford Ranger, and it had a long wheelbase. Back when Ford Ranger was still a truck, back square body. It's not one of them small ones.
Yeah,
If
it was
you
the
have
bigger
one,
ones.
Good on vehicle,
Yeah.
good on gas. But it was one of the old school ones, It had a leather bench seat, and this long wheelbase had the mags and the glass pops. Like, I looked cool.
Hell
It was
yeah.
so loud, man. I pull up to the red light, put it in neutral, slam it. There goes $20 of gasoline, but I was cool, man. And it sounded so fast, but she topped out about 65 miles an hour, man. None of the gauges worked. I somehow had it down naturally. I knew if I filled it up on Monday, I knew how long I drove it when it needed more gas. And
3 miles.
I had a lot of fun in that truck. Discovered a lot in that truck. Backroad a lot in that truck. Have a lot of really good memories of that truck. And it's probably 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning. And someone say something?
I did. I said one more thing in that truck.
So
Drank a beer in that truck.
so 4 or 5.
Ahoy.
Ahoy! Yeah, so 4 or 5 in the morning. I was tired, delirious. I don't think I'd slept in a while. Might have been, I don't know, inebriated. I have no idea.
Meth.
But meth. No, I'm not into that, bro. But
Yes, he is.
I got to thinking. I got to missing that truck because we had just kind of got. I had sold it to my dad at the time because when I was a child, I thought $1,000 was so much money and it was just sitting there.
Right.
And then my dad ended up, I think, trading it to a family member to bale some hay because our tractors got in a bind or something.
Right.
And so he traded it. And I'd never thought nothing of it. I thought I'd buy it back one day, which I'll get back on that. But anyways, I was sitting there and I was kind of missing that old truck. And I was like, man, what would be really cool? Because, could you imagine going back in time, but not like by yourself? If you could go back in time and hang out with a 17 or 18-year-old you, just for one day, just talk to him about all kinds of stuff. I was like, if I could go back in time and let him drive and just back road with a 17-year-old me and just let him tell me all kinds of stuff that I forgot. I don't remember half the stories. People come to me all the time, tell me stories about when I did this or that or that. And I'm like, I don't remember any of this. It's like, if I could go back in time and listen to him and see if that was actually real or not, and, swap some stories, tell him some stuff about me, I thought that'd be so cool. So I wrote that song, Yellow 79, about that, just going back and chilling out with him.
It's like a screenplay for Dukes of Hazzard meets Back to the Future.
Yeah! Except you go back and, hang out with yourself.
I'll contact James
I
King.
thought that would be cool.
What if I wrote a song
But,
about a Ford Ranger that was a time machine?
Hey, you don't sound self-centered at all right now. I want to go back in time and hang out with myself.
Well, could you imagine? No. Oh,
Hey,
Before I had this shitty
If you just said
band.
with 4 people, dead or alive, Luke.
yeah.
And
I'd hang out with me, man. I would go back and I
Mm.
would swap some stories and I would figure out, all the
They
things
really
that
like
I
my sound.
forgot.
No, that
I
is
would
a cool.
I would tell 17-year-old me to not do a whole lot of fucking things.
Man, I don't
That's
think
how
I
that song
would.
hit me. You pulled a real lighthearted approach to that song, but I feel like a lot of people it's going to hit differently for.
Well, see, if I told him not to do something, then it would change me.
Solid point.
I don't wanna
Actually, now that I
change
think
me.
about it that way.
Yeah, so I would let him do it. I might give him a little bit of advice.
Be like, hey, just handle this differently.
Bro, I definitely would have did a lot less Ashleys if I could go back.
Yeah, but that makes Josh Greathouse Josh Greathouse.
But I would have cut out at least 13 of them.
Oh my God!
I recently.
That's a large number. Can we unpack that?
Can we elaborate on 13 ashes?
Hey, that's for another time. But you notice I used an unlucky number.
Hey, the way he posts on Facebook too, they still be watching his shit because I see it.
So we recorded Yellow 79. So I got to thinking like, hey man, if this song takes off, like I could imagine headlines: Luke LsaPrade buys back his Yellow 79.
Right.
So I went and inquired about where my truck is, and I recently, as in like literally the last 6 days, found out that the guy that had it crushed.
No shit.
Crushed it. Yeah, so I can never get it back. He's like, I have the title, man.
Are you
but I don't have the truck.
Man.
Well, because he was like joking. He's like, oh, yeah, I had it crushed. I'll take it to the body shop, though, and see if I can get the dents pulled out. I thought I was just kidding. No, he wasn't.
Dick.
He had it crushed. Well, he wasn't being a dick. He just didn't know.
He just doesn't give a shit about you.
No, he's a cool guy. I'm not going to call him out or nothing. He came to my show last weekend, and like I sang Yellow 79 to him because I had just told him,
I bet he felt like a piece of shit.
Well, I was making all these
both
jokes.
of y'all were crushed.
And I'm really good at making jokes. Like I can, like in any song, I can talk about anything I want, So I just kept calling him out. And then my dad's like, hey man, he feels really bad about crushing it. Maybe stop calling him out. And I was like, oh, I wasn't even trying to upset him,
Maybe stop being a
Just doing it as part of the show.
Yeah, I do that as part of the show, man.
Wasn't even at that show. I knew he felt like a dick for that.
Yeah, but he crushed it. But he didn't know any better, But yeah, he crushed it. And when I'm at shows, I sing the song. I'm like, oh yeah, I traded this truck for, a handful of hay bales and a 6-pack of beer because it's funny. But it did actually get traded for bales of hay getting baled. So,
and they got crushed.
Yeah, I got crushed. And I was like, dude, if I could. I think it was my drummer, or was it you?
I don't know. What are we talking
It
about?
might have been my drummer. He was like, hey man, you ought to go and just try to buy the block back and just sell off pieces of it at the merch table.
Buy the crushed version of the
Yeah.
truck.
No, that
just
wasn't
sell it off
me,
at the
but
merch
that's
table.
That sounds like
Might have been
Jason.
Jason.
That
I
sounds
was
like
that's a
Jason.
good idea though. If I could buy the block, just sell pieces of it.
Or we could take the title and that'll be the album cover for Weird Load.
No, that's a good idea. Oh, not for Weird Load, but I should take the title.
That's the first album.
I could
name
take
is
the
Weird
title
Load.
and make it the album cover. That's a good idea.
Weird Load.
So
If you drop it as a single first,
so
that'd be a good thing to do.
that for the Weird Load thing, we are dropping it as a single. With the Big Bass Bonanza we was at, there was this, I don't even know what it was.
It
It was like this big green pipe. I'll show you a picture.
It was a
of
propane
Maybe y'all can put it
container,
on
brother.
the thing so they can see. It's like a propane tank.
Yeah.
And it just had Weird Load spray painted on it. He was like, if we don't write a song called Weird Load, I quit this.
Like, that's the album. Like, it looked
Two
shitty.
things came from
it
that
looked
show.
dirty.
Yeah.
And it just said Weird Load on the side of a propane tank. And I was
Album
like, God,
cover.
that's it.
Hell yeah.
That's the magnum opus.
What do I got to do? I got to pee real bad.
Just
Well, good thing we're
Can I-
getting to the end of the episode right now.
I was about to say, can I pee and cut it and come back?
No, we're like at our limit right now.
Oh,
I
cool.
was about to
We'll
hit
cut
the
that
outro.
anyways.
I would never ask you to cut your pee.
Oh, but I got to tell the story about Luke's mom. But
Oh,
Say it right now. Go.
Jesus.
all right, so
Luke,
our
do you want to leave the room for this?
our
No,
first
no,
guitar
no,
player,
I'm here.
our other guitar player, Chandler Whitehead, almost quit the band at the first practice because Luke comes in and he's testing everybody out in the room. And Chandler's test is he's going to talk about Chandler's mom. Chandler's mom's a wonderful lady, by the way.
Wonderful lady.
Wonderful lady.
Love you, Aunt.
And Luke made so many mom jokes. At the break, I can see it on Chandler's face because I've known Chandler since he was 8 years old.
Like first time y'all met this guy?
Yeah.
First time
I
Chandler
met him.
meets this guy, Luke's making all these Chandler mom jokes.
Well, I got a reason.
solid 30 seconds
Okay.
in.
So
Yeah.
we're at break. I go outside with Chandler and I said, hey, I can see you're pissed off. I need you to do me a favor.
Shut up.
No one has this many hot mom jokes unless their mom's hot. You hang with me till you meet his mom, and if his mom's not hot, you quit the band and I don't ask questions. Fast forward, we're at the Silver Saloon.
Playing with
Bobby
Chandler.
Irwin.
Bobby.
Hey, Bobby's
And-
cool people.
Oh, Bobby's cool as shit. We're all backstage.
Bobby drank all my beer first.
Luke just randomly disappears. We're all backstage chilling his band. We're having a great time. Luke's no longer in the room. And I'm like, hey, guys, do y'all think Luke maybe went and met his mom? And one of the bar people were there bringing us beer. And we're like, hey, did you see Luke? And he's like, yeah, he's out there with some blonde lady.
Oh.
And I'm like, guys, this might be our chance. And we told Bobby Irwin the story of like, hey, Chandler almost quit the band. So this is the moment. We got to find out if Luke's mom's hot or not. So there's 8 of us dudes. And if y'all seen how big Bobby Irwin and his guys are, I mean, they're not a small band. They're big dudes. So there's 8 of us walking out. Look like a freaking mob. And then we see this beautiful angelic person on the other side of Luke. Luke's back
Yeah.
is to us.
Give me 10 seconds. So I'm on this side of it, and I'm talking to my mom, and my mom's trying to talk to me, and I notice she keeps looking
This is
behind me.
hot.
And she starts smiling, and I'm like, oh, no, right? No, and I turn around, so.
And then that's us walking towards us. Luke promptly is telling us a few explicatives and trying to rack us at this moment. And all we're trying to do is meet his wonderful, beautiful, awesome, next wife.
Worst day
mom.
of my life.
I'm going to be Luke's stepdad, by the way.
I'm just
Love you,
happy.
Brandon.
I'm just happy to be involved.
I love Brandon, his dad, but I'm coming for you, Brandon.
So if we're looking at Yellow 69 and you bullying the guy in the
60.
crowd and Chandler, like this is not a good podcast for us. You just look like a mean person. So let's start the podcast off by the time I bullied this guy at the show, and then the guitar player almost quit because he's a little, I just want to bully him. Like,
Well,
dude,
like-
shut the fuck up, man.
At that point in time, man, this is 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, 3
You know,
years
I
ago.
was going through a quarter life crisis.
So I
man.
hurt people.
And
Worse
Will,
than
you know,
that.
I'm at
Hurt
like
people,
the
hurt
roughest
people.
part of my career, you know. And Will's like, hey man, I got this guitarist, but he's kind of, like straight laced kid, lives with his parents,
straight-laced.
all this, like he doesn't drink or cuss or nothing.
He was 19.
Yeah, so to me, I'm like, well, like I don't want his parents to come to the show, 2 or 3 months down the
Without
road and be like, oh, I don't like this guy, you got to quit. So I just laid into him from the word go, just to see his character, just to see how he could hold on.
Right.
Because if he can't jive with me, he can't jive with me. He held on. And then we do our first show at XLN in Tyler, Texas.
Yes.
This dive, man.
A rock bar.
And his mom, his dad, and his grandma come.
Grams. who
And
I'm
I
after.
give the nastiest show I can possibly do.
I
I look
trying to get this kid to quit.
I
weren't
look
you?
Graham in the eyes, and I sang "Your Love Makes My Sticker Peck Out" by JB and the
peck
Moonshine
out,
Band.
goddamn.
I'm not even kidding, dude. I look at his mom, and I'm singing like Colt 45. Like I'm just all this nasty shit, and they loved it.
I do not.
Loved it. His grandma's over there like,
She's like, yeah, stick it the pecker up.
yo, dude.
no.
It was.
I don't
and they are the-
understand this. This guy can offend people
Yeah.
and they love him.
They love it. Yeah. And they are the sweetest people. His mother, his dad, his grandmother, his aunts. They're the sweetest people, and they're very supportive. for
We
us.
go to church every Sunday with him.
Yeah, and so like we
sound.
did Chandler's graduation party,
At his church.
and I sing "Slow Down Annie," which is for his mom, Amy, and his dad like comes out of nowhere, and he's got these like sunshades on and a bandana on backwards and boxing gloves. Dog comes out of nowhere and like messes me up, dog. He's like, bam! I'm like, damn, what's up, Dad?
How do you
Like,
wear a bandana?
They're so cool, man. They're the coolest people.
Wait, he actually punched you in the face?
Yeah, but it was like
was
a
pretend.
funny
It
thing.
It was like a friendly,
Yeah, it was, but it's like a 4-8 ounce glove, so it's a little bit of weight. but
somewhat friendly punch.
He didn't like deck me. Like he's a big dude. If he decked me, I'd probably wake up,
But
in,
he hit
in
him.
heaven.
He was
But
talking about fucking his wife.
yeah, dude, it was funny though, man. It's almost like choreographed. It was funny.
Great.
Where did he get the gloves? I know he brought that on purpose, man.
Oh,
He did.
absolutely.
I was like, but they're very cool people. Yeah, I gave him the nasty show. And I'm over there dancing on him and everything. I mean, because I'm like, if they're gonna make him quit, they're gonna make him quit day one. No, they were great, and they're some of the greatest people I've ever met. And like his grandma and his mom, like I'll sit down and talk to him. I was at the church when we did. I don't even want to talk about that. But when we did his graduation party, and his grandma was just talking up all kinds of stuff. Just
Looking
Very
good.
sweet.
very
Looking
very supportive person, looking good.
Hell yeah.
Graham.
But anyways, yeah. So there's
And then you hired me to contrast.
Well,
So let's
in
get
def-
into the tall tales part of this. We're gonna go to the band for this.
okay.
talk to them.
Yeah, Luke.
Okay.
Go pee.
If we
Yeah, can I go pee?
Go
Yeah,
pee.
go.
If we
Is it will not ruin the podcast?
We'll hold it for you.
We gotta make it quick though.
Dude, I got it.
We're not gonna.
I just gotta pinch it.
Just leave it roll.
yeah.
I gotta piss too.
I do too, but
Yeah,
I
go
want to
ahead.
tell stories.
Tall tales. While they're out of the room, no holds barred. Go.
You know, part of the
Luke,
title.
He
obviously-
doesn't pay us. Please, my family is starving. He is so mean to
I
people.
don't know what you're talking about, dude. I got put in a different tax bracket.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but you're dating his mom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting.
He's giving
Graham
stepdad
brand.
money, keep me away.
Yeah.
So what's up? What do you want to know?
You're watching.
You want to know about his taxes? You want to know how he got this one?
So this guy got hired because I fired him.
Yeah, it was fucked.
So,
Wait.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
all right. So Clay, I own music academies and a music store in Athens, Texas, and Tyler Music Academy. And Clayson was one of my wonderful teachers, and
For a long time.
For a long time.
7 years that you took away from me.
So Clayson had a little problem. He was honestly he was trying to finish his schoolwork with a doctorate in guitar or whatever he's got. And so he's working a lot of hours for me, working a lot of hours for the school. Has a hard time showing up to work. Showing up to work on time.
I just had twins.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had twins.
Like
got married.
Fuck me, right? I'm not dad. Like my first time being a
And
dad.
so I said, "Hey,
it's like
Hate
the
me for
hardest,
my super sperm.
the hardest person, the hardest point in his entire life, and you fired him.
yeah, it was
well."
really fucked
So
up.
for record, I did write him up like 5 times and be like, "Dude, you got to get this together. You got to get this together." And the day that it happened, he had all his shit packed up, and he said, "I know, man." He goes, "I love you." He goes, "Business wise, it didn't work out, but I love this dude." Because 2 weeks later, I was like, "Hey, dude, I know I just fired you, but
Can you learn 4 hours of music in about 45 minutes? And I said, yeah, man.
And so he was hired for the band, and it's been a beautiful with him and Chandler doing the dueling guitar solos. Man, that's the sound. I mean, that's literally
More
the
like
sound.
harmonious guitar solos.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They do a
solos.
little bit, but they
We
harmonize.
suck.
Yeah. So like Welcome Home or Lohan, you've heard Lohan. That's 2 guitars.
Listen to the guitar work on Welcome Home, man.
Yeah.
I would say, it's not that I have anything against the work that went behind it. I don't feel like the recording of Welcome Home captures what happens live.
I agree.
And that's because you recorded it without me.
You wasn't there?
Damn.
No, and I wrote the fucking part that the people write.
I thought you were there for that.
Well, hey, I got good news for you. So I actually want to re-record it because I
wants to
discovered
drop
like
it.
a year later that if I sing it a half a step down, it's not so pitchy and it doesn't sound like shit. Like to me, I can't listen to it because I think it's a terrible performance.
I listen
But
to it every day.
it's if you come to one of our shows, we do it a half step down,
Listen to it in
and I
the
want to
shower.
re-record it a half step down. So then maybe you can come to the studio.
That'd be nice to be invited. I like being involved.
You
in
was
things.
invited. You couldn't come for a reason. I had to. Yeah, that wouldn't even on me.
I have performance anxiety. I can't come in front of people.
Huh?
But that has nothing to do with the fact that I wasn't fucking invited to fucking record the part that I wrote for the fucking song. Everybody knows the dark secret.
Y'all laughing because I said come.
He said,
Told him he couldn't come for a reason.
Yeah, well, no, that was on him, dude.
nervous.
That was on him.
The
He
climax of your show never
he couldn't.
happened.
Everybody's watching. Stop.
He couldn't make it to the studio. That wasn't my fault.
Everybody turn around. Like, just. I don't want you to look at me.
He's got performance anxiety, dog.
It's hard. Well, not my dick, obviously, but
Well, it's a family podcast. You can't say obviously, bro.
we can talk.
Hey, the key word is allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So I'm really happy to be involved in the track that I also helped write.
Ahoy.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm the guitar.
Hey,
bitch.
you wrote the music. Yeah.
I didn't write the music. You wrote the music.
I wrote the words. You wrote the guitar.
I mean, my biggest goal always.
I guess it's like a yeah. Do I
go
have to
fuck
write
yourself.
you up for royalties? Is that how that works?
Don't talk about writing him up. We just talked about
Hold
that.
on.
I already wrote him up 5 times.
Oh,
And
is that what I
fired his
missed when I
ass.
went
Yeah,
outside?
that was a really fresh wound. For anybody who wasn't pissing. I got a lot of hurt in me.
He's like, I had
Y'all,
to
y'all
move town.
fucked this guy, and he's still with y'all. Y'all gotta
I
give him
love this
some
guy.
credit.
No,
force
man.
any question.
Well, don't take it there, man.
No, we have no bad
Oh,
blood.
that
you
had
didn't
nothing
hear
to do with our band.
You didn't hear what he said when you were outside.
No, I had no idea. What
You
he
will when this podcast airs.
I told him about your
Talk about your
taxes.
tax problems.
said. My tag? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
take me out of the track again.
Hey, I got a good CPA. Try again.
IRS, I have his number.
All right, I'm having a fucking blast, but we got to put this to an end real quick.
We can make it the
before starts getting
longest
violent.
podcast, though. We just keep going.
No, this will not be the longest one. We had to edit out a whole half hour of another one.
Why? Just make it super long.
Let's try to edit out
No,
an hour and a
people
half.
stop listening.
Who
That's
cares?
on them.
I listened to a 3-hour podcast. Y'all butch up and start listening to
Yeah,
this. the
Joe
whole thing.
Rogan, dog.
I've listened to Joe
Rogan.
Rogan talk about chimpanzees for about 7 hours.
Hey, Corey can come make it a flabongo more.
If somebody says come one more time,
Jizz. Hit the
Hey, Corey,
flabongo.
grab your flabongo and come here, bro.
Yes, sir.
What is this
Bring
world
two.
coming to?
Clayson, you want to do one?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do. I've dabbled. I've
I feel like, come on.
Okay.
I feel like it's not a show if Clayson doesn't get one.
Okay, give me.
feel
I'll
like
be
you
right
should
there.
You got another one?
It's brought to you by Chloroseptic.
He just said I couldn't say come. I don't think he even noticed I said it.
Chloroseptic.
That's the only reason I even said it.
Clayson's got a little bit of laryngitis or herpes, whatever they call it these days.
Don't cry. It's gonna be all right.
What do we have to share? One bird?
No,
No, you're going
there's
over
two
there.
birds. This one's yours. Yeah,
Princess.
I'm getting you to do it.
the next album.
Normally I'm calling it.
Dudes in one bird. Dude, I'm not even kidding, dude. I will straight up.
Nobody likes her.
2 dudes, 1 bird. Is that what you said?
2 dudes and 1 bird is gonna be the album title,
Hey.
and the song's gonna be come. C-O-M.
Listen, we've got to do a blurred out video on our OnlyFans.
What?
I don't know why I have a goddamn turtleneck on. I look like a loser.
Yeah, you just
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna put this on our OnlyFans.
You're spilling out the back end there.
Hold on. I'm gonna put this on our OnlyFans as 2 dudes, 1 bird.
Well, it's
Or
2
two
birds.
birds.
So
Math is hard.
2 dudes drinking a pink bird 3 feet apart because
Go.
they're not gay.
2 dirt,
Flabongo!
2 birds.
Oh. You're not very good at
Bubbles,
that,
bubbles,
Corey. You're always
bubbles.
like doing all that. Oh, it hurts your teeth? That happens to me, man.
That was cold.
Dude, one time I was on stage, man, and
He's a cold ass home.
sometimes you'll think you're done, and when you go to stop, it'll choke you out. I'm not
I have
gonna say
that
it.
problem too.
It'll choke you out.
Sometimes I think I'm done and
Yeah.
it just keeps going.
I was on stage at Union 28. Yeah, I was on the stage at Union 28 doing the bird, dude, and I was like chugging it, and then I start flailing around. Everyone thinks I'm being a rock star. They think I finished my flabongo and I threw it, and I'm flailing around. No, I was drowning in Modelo. I was drowning because sometimes you'll think that there's no more beer, and you go to take a breath, and then those bubbles or the head it'll come. It'll
come.
It'll hit you, and
Those
you'll
bubbles,
start. You'll
those
start
bubbles will
choking.
come to the back of your
You'll start.
throat.
And so,
head.
like, they're all cheering because, like, I'm doing it, and I throw the flabongo, and I'm flailing around, like,
And he's
and I'm over here
asphyxiating.
looking at my guitar, it's like,
He's
I'm drowning in Modelo. So
What a shitty
yeah,
way
you
to
gotta
die.
be careful with it, man. It's engineered to really it
Get
really
in there.
sends that beer
To
down.
come out at a fast
And the funny
rate.
thing is, like, when I first got these, I had them, and I had that one right there. And my grandfather was like, "What is that?" I said, "Pawpaw." I said, "You won't believe this." I said, "You won't believe this, but I sell that little pink thing for $30." He's like, "What?" He's like, "What does one do with it?"
You really got to figure out how you word things. You sell that little
like
pink
a
thing for $30.
That little pink bird, man. Y'all got your
Trailer
heads in the
park
gutter.
pimp over here.
Yeah, yeah. Trailer yard pimp. Like,
Continue.
yeah, I sell them little pink birds. There you go for $30. He's like, no way. Well, he's like, old school Baptist that doesn't drink,
And it was his first time.
And I'm like, man. He's like, well, what does one do with it? And I'm like, you don't want to know.
Well, come here. Papa.
So my whole family starts laughing, and he's like, what do you do with it? I was like, you don't want to know. He goes, all right, I guess we'll just leave that behind. And so,
Wait, Papa doesn't know?
I hope he doesn't watch his podcast.
I'm
but if
gonna
he
make-
does,
He totally.
I'm
Thought
gonna go over to Papa.
yeah.
he totally. thinks you're gay.
College kids chug beer out of it.
College.
or the elderly.
Yeah, literally everyone.
It's inclusive.
I'll
It's
just find someone and tell them to come up stage, and they're all ecstatic. Oh my god!
Papa Baptist preachers have done it too, probably.
And as long as you give consent, like the bird can be chugged by anybody. But go ahead and do that PSA right now. It doesn't just have to be college kids.
God. Yeah, well, it's not just.
So we-
everybody does it, but
We've came to the part where Corey
Came?
has to-
Came.
You dirty bird.
y'all the one that did this, man.
I'm going to text her.
Come on, guys. No more
texting
cum
who?
jokes.
I'm
I don't know which one yet.
I'm so glad that we came over here to this podcast.
He set that softball right up on that tee.
Ejaculation.
It's time for Corey to fuck up the outro.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming tonight. It was a great.
Are we going to keep drinking?
Luke LsaPrade.
Done.
Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of True Tall Tales and Whiskey.
Is that the whole outro?
Turn the fucking camera.
Ahoy! Listen, y'all are like simultaneously doing Ahoy,
Simultaneous.
right? Come on.
Come on together.
We'll do it on one. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Ahoy!